Hello and welcome to Inside IIM. My name is Ocean and today we're going to take a deep dive into the CS. I'll talk to you all about the scope, career trajectory, the roles and responsibilities, salaries, exam pattern, and more about the CS.
For the past year at Inside IIM, we have been conducting one-on-one career coaching sessions as counsel, short domain-specific courses as masterclasses, and university-affiliated certificate programs. Now, we are extremely excited to announce that we have a new home for all these highly rated programs in altuni.in. So, if you are looking to earn a high salary, get a promotion, switch jobs, click on the link in the description or just visit altuni.in. Thank you, enjoy the video, and don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss an update. Cheers.
What is CS? Considered among one of the most valued members of an organization, company secretaries or CS professionals are responsible for the overall administration of an organization. They act as an important link between various stakeholders, regulatory authorities, governments, members of the board of any organization, and other principals who act or facilitate day-to-day business activities of a company. They are also responsible for completing the tax returns of an organization, of keeping records, and making sure that the company is complying with the legal regulations that it is required to. CS professionals are the in-house experts on security laws, corporate laws, capital markets, and corporate governance. Before we dive deeper into the CS and the course, there's one note that I'd like to make. The Chartered Accountant or CA course is often put at a higher pedestal as compared to the CS. And there's the ensuing debate about whether CS is relevant in today's time at all or not. After speaking with a lot of stakeholders, here's what I've learned. The role of a company secretary is not obsolete. Section 203 of Companies Act requires that corporations need to have company secretaries. This by law creates a employment opportunity for company secretaries. Another point to note is that Section 204 of the Companies Act requires certain companies to get independent CS professionals to audit their records, which means that this is another employment opportunity by law which is created for independent company secretaries. So company secretaries' work is and most likely will continue to remain relevant and not going to go obsolete. But when we talk about company secretaries in relation to a CA, the issue about pay, growth, scope of work, opportunities is at the center of that debate. And the decision to go ahead and become a CS should largely depend on whether what a CS does, that work, that role, is something that you would like to do for the major 30 years, let's say, of your career. And so to help you make that choice, let's dive deep into understanding what is it that a CS really does. What does a company secretary really do? A practicing company secretary can work as an independent advisor to firms and advise them on matters of loans, tax, partnerships, government licenses, registrations, or join a company secretary firm to render their services. Here are the key responsibilities of a company secretary. Number 1, to keep the company's records, maintain the company's tax returns, advise the board of directors of their legal obligations for compliance with legislation. A company secretary is an important link between the board of directors, shareholders, regulatory authorities, the government, and other stakeholders of an organization. The job includes ensuring that the board procedures are followed and regularly reviewed. And it also involves guiding the chairman and the directors on their responsibilities under various laws. Like you can see, this profession has to do a lot with legal work and laws. Even though company secretaries are not lawyers themselves, a lot of people who choose to pursue the CS course also choose to do a LLB alongside it, so that in case they don't want to go ahead and become a CS, they can always take the law route. Company secretaries are also responsible for drafting prospectus, offer for sale, letter of offer, and other documents that are related to the issue of securities, and obtaining various approvals in association with lead managers is something that company secretaries are expected to do. So if you think you'll enjoy this kind of work, being a company secretary might suit you well. Eligibility criteria. The minimum qualification required to register for the first level of a company secretary course, which is the CSEET, is to pass class 12th in any stream excluding fine arts from a recognized university or an equivalent. Number 2, anyone who wishes to pursue CS after their graduation will have to undergo only 2 levels of the CS. Number 1, executive program, and number 2, professional program. Third, all graduates and postgraduates who've passed the first level or the foundation exam of the ICSI, the foundation exam of the ICAI, or any other accountancy institution in India or abroad which is recognized by the Council of the Institute, are exempted from passing the foundation program examination or the CSEET conducted by the ICSI. Exam pattern. In India, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, or ICSI, is the only recognized professional body to develop and regulate the profession of company secretaries. The CS program offered by the ICSI happens at 3 levels. The first is the CSEET, the second is the executive program, and the third is the professional program. Subjects. CSEET, or the first stage of the CS exam series, has the following subjects. Number 1, business communication. Number 2, legal aptitude and logical reasoning. Number 3, economic and business environment. Number 4, current affairs, presentation and communication skills. The second stage, or the executive program, has the following subjects. The first module consists of jurisprudence, interpretation and general laws, company law, setting up of business entities and closure, tax laws. The second module consists of corporate and management accounting, security laws and capital markets, economic, business and commercial laws, financial and strategic management. The professional program consists of the following subjects. You'll see a list on your screen now. Feel free to pause the video and read it. The third compulsory paper in the professional program is an elective, which means that out of the choices you see on your screen, you'll have to choose one subject and only take that. It's important to note that some individuals are exempted from giving some exams by the CS. So if you have a degree like a CA, you may want to visit the ICSI website and check if any of the exemptions apply to you. That would basically mean that you'll have to not take a few papers, and that'll make your life easier. Expenses. On your screen now, you see the breakup of the fee that ICSI requires you to pay if you wish to pursue the CS course. Please note that the total of this fee is not the only expense that will occur if you decide to go ahead and pursue the CS. You will have to pay your coaching, your tutor, and pay for any other material that you buy when you're studying for the exam. Preparation. You'll find a lot of coachings, tutors and teachers who'll be happy to teach you not only the different subjects that the CS exam tests you upon, but also they'll be happy to give you a level-wise preparation. For level 1, you join a coaching. For level 2, you join. You could even continue in the same. The idea is they'll give you recorded lectures or live lectures, they'll give you notes, questions to practice from, and largely direction and mentorship that may be lacking if you decide to prepare all by yourself. But that is a route that many aspirants take, and it works very well for them. So it has to be a choice that you make about how you want to prepare for the CS. There's one important thing that all toppers I spoke with mentioned, which is the scanners or past year papers. So if you're someone who's preparing for the CS course, make sure to check those papers out. Jobs and salaries. On your screen now you see the job profile of an individual, the starting salary that you can expect to earn, the mid-level salary and the senior level salary, and all of these are per annum and in Indian rupees. As you progress in your career, you can definitely beat these numbers because they are just an average of what the industry has been paying over the past few years. There are some company secretaries like from HUL, the Executive Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs and Company Secretaries, Dev Bajpai, who was reported by the Mint to earn 4.69 crores in 2017. So some senior CS make a lot of money and others don't. It depends on a lot of factors, but largely how good you are at your work determines how fast you progress to such levels. Another point to note is that these high salaries are not as common in the field of CS as you might expect. Mr. Bajpai is someone who stood out because he made that kind of money while being a CS. It's important that you understand that you may or may not be in that position depending on a lot of factors, including your skill sets and what you bring to an organization. The chart you now see on your screen shows that the majority of CS lies somewhere in the middle bracket and not towards the end where the pay is exceptionally high. Is the CS course for you? CS is a lot about legal compliance, also takes some bits from accounting and finance, but also has to do with stakeholder management. So if you think you're someone who's going to enjoy doing this for the major chunk of your career, you definitely should go ahead with it. But there's another thing you can do. A lot of individuals take up the CS course but supplement it with other degrees. It could be the CA, the CFA, it could be in fact even an MBA. But all of that needs to be based on the long-term trajectory that you want to make for your career. For instance, there are a lot of CS individuals who've done the course but realized that they don't want to do the work that a CS is expected to do for the major chunk of their career. And so they pursue an MBA to get opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't. And so sometimes it's helpful to think about what is it that you really want to achieve in your career and see whether CS fits the bill. If it is being a company secretary, then you already have your answer. CS is an internationally and nationally recognized degree. So CS should not be underestimated or undervalued in any sense. It does justice to those who are willing to make a career in the field. CS may not be for you if you're not passionate about the field. If you're not interested in knowing laws and compliance, and if you don't have that feeling that says, I want to learn all about it. At least that is what the AIR 1 for 2020, Tanya Grover, says. In her words, she used to feel like she really wanted to decode everything that has to do with a particular law or compliance. And that helped her not only get the AIR 1, but also start her role in a corporation as a company secretary trainee. So the idea largely is, if this matches your interests, if you see yourself doing this work, enjoying it for the rest of your career and your professional life, this might be a good idea to go with. But if you think that you'll derive partial value from it, you could supplement it with other degrees. If you're totally not interested in all of this, then you already have your answer as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope it helped.